Oh, that seems like a crazy thing. Okay? Winter break. We're going to finish out this week by doing a 4-6 worksheet, 4-6 day 2 worksheet, 4-5 worksheet on Friday. On Monday, we are going to do a book. Monday and Tuesday are both book assignments. We're going to do 1, maybe 2 days of review. I haven't quite decided. And you're going to have a quiz next Friday, the second quiz in this chapter. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the December 20, 21, 22, we have an in-class project. Okay, so we're going to finish out chapter 4 before you go off to winter break so that you can come back after winter break and start fresh with chapter 5. I think that's a better idea than trying to take a test after that. Agreed? That'd be kind of disastrous. Okay, today we are going to connect chapter 4, functions, and finding slopes and y-intercepts from sentences into what we learned in chapter 3. So here we go. The slope of a function is the value that occurs over and over and over. We look for the words per or each. Per or each indicate your slope. Your y-intercept is the initial value or the starting point of the function. So if we think back to chapter 3, we can use the point-slope equation and the given information to find the unknowns. Remember this equation? Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, well, you're going to remember because we're going to use it on every single problem today. So here's the example of what we're going to do. Music Incorporated charges a one-time subscription fee plus a monthly fee. Oops, Miss Hoff has a typo in there. The total cost for different number of months, including the one-time fee, is shown in the graph. Find and interpret the rate of change in the initial value. As a reminder, rate of change is slope. Initial value is your y-intercept, or the b in your equation. All they're asking us to do is find our slope and our y-intercept. Bless you. Okay, step number 1. We're going to find our slope. How are we going to find our slope given this graph? Tone. The numbers, we got to have 2 points, right? Which 2 points you want to use? Tell me which 2. 1 comma 15 and 2 comma 18. That's exactly what I would pick too. I'd always pick my very first 2 points. Okay? How does 2 points help us find the slope? Jack? Very good. And what letter goes on top? Y on top. Y on top. So I always label these x, y, x, y. So which one do you want to start with? 15 minus, careful, 18, very good, over minus 2. Y minus y. This is slope way back from the beginning of chapter 3. Y minus y, x minus x. Question? Oh, you're going to do it for me? 15 minus 18 is, careful, negative 3. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. So my slope is actually 3. And Miss Hoff is going to tell you, make it a whole number. I'm also going to tell you it's going to be a whole number all day today, which is a really good thing. No fractions. Okay, no fractions. So that's part 1. Okay, now we go to part 2, and we need to write the equation, which is going to give us our initial value. Now, some of you are writing all over the middle of that page, and I'm going to tell you, you got to keep this organized because we're going to fill that whole thing with work today. To find our initial value, we need 1 point, and we need the slope. What point do you want to use? The biggest one? Okay, which is 630? All right, he's crazy, but that's okay. And what slope did we just calculate? 3, right? Now we're going to use that equation we have up top. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. You guys are really good at filling this in. Yes, it does. Okay. Y minus, which number is my y value in that point? 30 equals, what's your slope? 3 parenthesis x minus 6. Slowly coming back to us, what we remember doing here. Okay. Now we have to distribute. We got to take 3 times x and 3 times 6. So y minus 30 stays. What is 3 times x? 3x. What is 3 times negative 6? Multiply them. Negative 18. Negative 18. Then we have to get y by itself. How am I going to get y by itself? I need y by itself. How do I get rid of negative 30? Add 30 to the other side. Add 30 to the other side. Y equals, we bring down 3x. Somebody grab your calculator for me. Negative 18 plus 30. Say it again.
12.
Positive or negative? Positive 12. Now, we have done a lot of work, but we haven't even answered the question yet. So we need to box in 3 because we have to find our slope, which that's our slope. And the initial value is the number in my equation that we just got that doesn't have a letter or a variable with it. What number's in our equation that doesn't have a variable?
12.
12. So box that in. My slope is 3, and my initial value is 12. Actually, that's all we're going to do today. We're going to go just with that. Normally, I make you write an interpret sentence, but Ms. Hoff's going to cross off interpret today. I don't think so. Okay. Should we do it again? Same process. Except for this time, they just give us sentences. Oh, no. Okay. Joan has photos in her photo album. Each week, she plans to add 12 photos. Joan had 120 photos after 8 weeks. Assume the relationship is linear. We're going to cross off the word interpret. You are just going to find the rate of change and initial value. Tone, what do you see? Each. Each is with this in the sentence with 12. So what does that tell you? That is my, say it again, Marilyn. That is my, careful, slope. That's your slope. The first thing you have to do is find your slope. Because we see the word each, we don't even have to calculate anything. We know my slope is 12, and you're going to put a box around it. That's one of the things we have to find. Our rate of change is our slope. Ooh, we kind of like that one, don't we? All right, part 2 then is we have to find our initial value. In order to find our initial value, I have to have a point and a slope. You don't know a point? Tone, what are you thinking? Say it. What numbers do you see? Yeah, see that 120 photos in 8 weeks? That's going to give us a point. Our time is 8, so that's our x. Our photos is 120, which is our y. So 120 photos after 8 weeks gives us our point. Then what did you just tell me my slope was? 12. All right, we got to plug into that equation. Let's write that down again. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Now we got to fill it in. Y minus 120 equals, careful, 12, parenthesis, x minus 8. Good work. What's the next thing I have to do? Tone? Oh, before that. That's our last thing we're going to do. We got to distribute. Both of you said at the same time. We got to distribute that slope through there. 12 times x and 12 times negative 8. So y minus 120 equals, what's 12 times x? 12x. 12 times negative 8. Negative 96. Thank you very much. Now the last thing I need to do, add, careful, 120. Add 120 because we want to get y by itself. Negative 96 plus 120. Positive 24 plus 24. Which one of those numbers is my initial value? My positive 24. So my slope is 12, and this is my initial value. This is my initial value. If you just box them both in, I'm okay with that. But just for your own notes, you maybe want to write that. I'm impressed, you guys. I'm impressed. A backside? No. A zoo charges a rental fee plus $2 per hour for strollers. The total cost of 5 hours is $13. Assume the relationship is linear. Find and we're going to cross off interpret the rate of change in initial value. Marilyn, what are you pointing out to me right away? Per, which gives me my slope. So right here we have $2 per hour. So the first thing I have to find is my slope. Whoops. Is my slope. And you guys just told me my slope is 2. M equals 2. Good work. Part 2. We got to find that initial value. 13 and 5. Now, which one's going to be my x? What was Miss Hoff's hint? X is always your time.
5.
So 5 is in hours, which is a calculation of time. So 5 comma 13. And your slope is 2. On your own, fill out this equation. You don't have to do anything else, but fill in your y, your m, and your x on your own. Fill in your y1, your m, and your x. Nope. Good. Good. So I should write y minus 13 equals 2 parenthesis x minus 5. Very good. Then I need to multiply, distribute my 2. Very good. So y minus 13 equals 2x. Careful. 2 times 5 is, yep, negative 10. So minus 10. Very good. And then I'm going to add 13 to the other side. Nicely done. Y equals 2x. Positive or negative? Positive 3. Which number am I boxing in as my initial value? My 3. That is my initial value. Oh no, how are we going to do the last one? It's got a table.
Oh no. Basically like this, just in the table.
Bingo. It's just like your graph. Liana's perfectly, she's 100% right. She said, we're still going to pull the points just like we did in the graph. Okay, so Ava's saving money. We need to find our initial, or our slope, our rate of change, and our initial value. So first, if I'm going to find my slope, just pull 2 points out of that table. What? So it's 3 comma 110 and 4 comma 130. On your own, find your slope. Y minus y over x minus x. I'll go back to that first one so you remember how to find your slope. Do just like this, but with your own numbers. Okay, everybody look at me. You should be doing the slope right now. Y minus y over x minus x. Okay, so if I go back to Ava's problem, did you start with 110? 110 minus 130 divided by 3 minus 4. 110 minus 130 would be negative 20. And what happens?
There, it's plus.
Very good. Ends up being 20. Nicely done, you guys. Ends up being 20. All right, now we have to do our initial value. What do I need to find my initial value? We need my m, which we just said was 20. What else do we need? We need a point, right? Which point do you want to use? 5 comma 150? All right, you guys are crazy, but that's fine. Fill in your equation first. And then I'll check in with you. Fill in your equation. You got to fill in y1, m, and x1. Bless you. Oh, you'll be okay. I already cut off half. I'm not even making you write sentences. All right, so I should have y minus 150 equals 20 times x minus 5. Nicely done. What's my next step?
20.
And 20 times 20x. And then 20 times negative 5, which is negative 100. Then plus 150. So y equals 20x Plus 50? Minus 50?
Yes.
Which one?
I think plus.
Plus 50. Which one's my initial value then? Positive 50 is my initial value.
Yeah, you were done.
Okay, now I printed this intentionally as two separate pages so that I didn't staple them together. You know what I mean? Because now you have homework. Guess how many problems your homework is? 4. Okay? 2 on the front, 2 on the back. You don't have to do any interpreting. Every single problem is going to look like these. Okay? The only difference is, and I have it up here, the 2 with charts, the charts run horizontally, but look, they're labeled which one's X and which one's Y, okay? All right? Questions before I turn you loose? Don't skip out on this. 4 problems. You can do this.